Hi, welcome to video 5 of this mini series about my journey of grief and healing after losing a child. Each episode, I'm talking a little bit about, my story with losing our daughter Blakely and a song that I wrote about her. I wrote an album of 10 songs called Blakely Mae after her, and just wanted to share that with anybody who maybe needs to hear from somebody who's gone through something incredibly difficult and traumatic, like losing a child, and how I've been able to get to the point where I am now, where I feel kind of like a normal person again. So I'll just be talking about the song Evening, which is track 5 on the album. This is definitely my favorite song on the album. I've always loved slow songs. This is, a ballad that I wrote on the piano. It also just really encapsulates how it felt to miss somebody who's passed on. I actually, the lyrics are somewhat inspired also by The End of the World by Skeeter Davis, which I'm pretty sure is about a relationship ending. But, the lines, why does my heart go on beating? I can't remember all of it, but, why do people keep living? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye. And that's kind of what the lyrics of this song have, that same feeling of like, why is everything still going on? Everything still carries on as if things are normal, even though they aren't for me, is how I was feeling. So I actually wrote this song on the piano. Most of the time I write on the guitar because it's my main instrument, but it's kind of interesting to write or compose a song starting with a different instrument. It just gives you a different perspective. You tend to play slightly different chord progressions and variations of chords. And so that's how I wrote this one, is on the piano. Here's what the piano sounds like soloed. So I actually recorded these piano parts, even though, you see they're MIDI here, but I used an electric piano, plugged it in, and recorded it to MIDI. And that was nice, partly because I'm not great at the piano, so I could clean it up a little bit and make it sound a little bit better than I can make it live. But also, most of the time it came out pretty much the way I wanted. I didn't come up with like extremely complex piano parts because I'm just not a super accomplished piano player. But this one I wrote based on the piano. This is one of the few songs that when I sit down at the piano, I'll still play, and that I can play and sing at the same time. Maybe sometime I'll come out with a video of me playing this one live. I think the song also just has some beautiful strings in it. And so I'll just listen to a little section of that. So, let's see, what else did I want to say about this? Some of the lyrics that I wanted to highlight in the very first verse, it talks about lying in bed and just thinking and wondering what I have in store for my life now. And then I love the second half of it right here. When I talk to you, are you listening? I've always believed in God, and prayer has been a regular part of my life. And I've had experiences where I feel like I could tangibly point to God listening and answering prayers. But when somebody else dies, I don't know if you've ever tried talking to somebody who's dead and, wondering if their spirit is there. But I definitely had a couple of experiences where I did that and just wondered, is she there listening? I've definitely also had some experiences where I knew that she was there, but most of the time, I don't know if she's there around me or if she's doing something else, visiting, with other people who have passed on before. And so it was a little bit harder to have faith in her being there listening than, an omniscient God, for example. And then we'll listen to just a little bit of the chorus here. The world must turn and the sun will burn, but my head feels heavy while my stomach churns. Can I carry on until the day I'm gone? When daylight fades and evening comes to take me to you. So the that theme of day versus evening, day represents being alive, evening represents the end of life in this song. And that was something that I grappled with quite a bit over the first year or so after she passed away, was looking forward to the end of life and eventually being with her again someday, but also knowing that I had to carry on and be there for my wife and for my other children and try to be strong when it, wasn't always easy to. The second verse is the one that really has kind of that same vibe as the Skeeter Davis song, but I'll let you guys listen to that when it comes out. The last thing I want to point out here is the very end. It has the second chorus and then it goes into just this instrumental section. And then it has this little, I think reprise is the word, where it goes into the chorus from the first song Before Sunday Morning, but with different words and kind of a different feel. And I've always loved having unique effects, especially on vocals. This is one where I have two tracks. One of them has some effects like a fuzz, and then the other track is a little bit more normal, just some EQ. And I combine them together. I don't know if that was smart to do rather than just decreasing the effects on the one track, but I liked the way that it turned out that way. And I do this a number of times throughout the album where I'll have a section that has kind of the same kind of effect and feel. So this is the song Evening. It's my favorite song on the album. Would love to hear, if you're able to listen to the whole album, would love to hear in the comments which song is your favorite. The song or the album will be released on July 10th, which is the 10-year anniversary of Blakely's passing. 25% of any profit that I make will go towards the research of SIDS and SUDC, or sudden unexplained death in childhood. So if you're able to stream it or purchase it, either way, that will contribute to researching SIDS and SUDC. So I would appreciate that. Stay tuned. Next video, we're going to talk about track 6, which is another little more upbeat as far as tempo wise, kind of like the third song, Absence. And it is called Losing Sleep. And we'll talk to you then. The world must turn and the sun will burn, but my head feels heavy while my